This is why sometimes I don't always do all the little technical things, because I've moved so far into my right brain, into my heart with all of you here. So deeply moved by the love of this community. Unity of Bay City has been around for a long, long time. Alola James was kind of the founder, really, of Unity of Bay City. The woman lived to be 105, I believe. And most all of that every year was spent in service, in sacred service. I think she's probably just smiling so big right now. Yes, I think she's grateful for that this community has stayed through many different physical moves from different cities, from different places, and still stayed Unity of Bay City, maybe even changed names a few times. I didn't write down all the history. Been in this building since 2004, I believe. And of course, today, as we said, we are going to celebrate releasing the mortgage. We've paid off the mortgage. Yeah. And how did we do that? Well, we built a consciousness over all the years that Unity of Bay City has been around. There's this consciousness of abundance, this consciousness of togetherness, this consciousness of how important it is in our life to have a spiritual community, a stable, loving spiritual community. You can read all kinds of scientific articles about what helps us to stay happy in life and young and healthier in life, or when we have a blip of health on the screen. Having a strong spiritual community is one of the top things that helps us move through this physical human life that can be kind of rough sometimes. And we're in this one presence and one power, and we're sharing this energy. And we get to come together physically on Sundays and on other opportunities that we have to remember that and to know that we're not alone. And in spirit, we are never alone. And so Christmas in July moves in just perfectly as we have this new birth. And I'm going to talk a little bit more next week about the birth of the Christ consciousness as we go through this month celebrating Christmas in July. But right now, I want to talk a little bit about rituals and ceremonies. And I have to say, I have never been real big on anything rote or on rituals so much. In my younger, more, I know what this all is kind of, being 20 and getting into new thought, I got this down. So that's just not how it works, is it? It's a lifelong journey. And I see now why rituals were started. It was just to center us. In Unity, we teach prayer and meditation. We teach as our rituals, right? We don't do a lot, even though we're going to have a ritual today called the burning bowl. The significance and the symbols are what's important. And we remember that it's not that is releasing and letting go. It is us saying, yes, I'm ready to let this go. We were ready here as collective consciousness. We started the mortgage match in February before we were back in the building. And by May 30th, I think we paid it off like the first or second day of June, we were done. And Kevin's going to talk a little bit more about that as we burn the mortgage today. That's a consciousness that we build. And we're building that on the spirit, the shoulders, the love of all of those who came before us here at Unity of Bay City and Unity Village. Unity The Unity movement was started in 1889. So we're in good company. And they're all here. They're all here with us right now. So we open to God energy through intention, through prayer, through ritual, through affirming our good. We open our heart and our mind to understand and allow ourselves to see the bigger picture of the universal good, the universal good of humankind. So I read this thing not too long ago that really made me take an even deeper look at rituals and ceremony. Life is a series of rituals, and it can open our eyes to how we can release some of the things in life that aren't serving us, our human comfort, our human experience. And, you know, all of nature lives through rituals, lives through ceremony. Rituals can help us express what's inside us, help us refocus and go within to gain greater clarity. And the caveat is that we know it's not what we're doing on the outer, like I said a minute ago, that's changing us. It's the consciousness that it's how we think about it. It's our thoughts backed by our feeling that moves spirit, that moves the universe, that moves God. So we have a lot of unnamed, unconscious rituals that can also be called habits. Do you ever think of a ritual as a habit? I didn't really. You know, we teach to change your life for the better. It begins with our thoughts and our feelings. And those thoughts and words we speak with conviction manifest out into our world. I call those thought habits or thought feeling habits. But to change the unwanted thought feeling habits, we must first recognize something's not quite right. We need to have a little bit of opening in our heart and our mind. Go, you know, I'm kind of miserable with this. What's that about? One little question in prayer or just in a quiet moment sets the universe to work within us. We say, yes, I really want to know. So let's go back a minute to the words ritual and ceremony. So we have the cultural norms. We have weddings and the ritual of exchanging rings or vows. We have memorial services with a variety of rituals and ceremonies. There are many symbols that we use, like the eagle is our national bird, right? Represents freedom, that freedom to spread your wings and fly. So symbols play a part too, and the importance we put on those symbols. So here's a way of thinking about rituals. Did you ever think that there are rituals in our day-to-day habits, like brush your teeth religiously, because you know the word religion just means something you do repetitively, something you always do. I always put toothpaste on my toothbrush and wet the toothbrush, and I brush my teeth every morning. That's kind of a ritual, right? Not a special one that I pay heed to. But what about the rituals? Now, this one really got me. Hold on to your hats. What about the rituals involved in our habits that aren't so healthy for us? There's a ritual involved in drug and alcohol use and other potentially harmful habits. A director of a residential drug and alcohol treatment center observed this. I have come into the treatment center with, I have people come into the treatment center with a lot of drug pattern rituals. What we do is try to get them to think about rituals in recovery. Rituals provide order, meaning, and purpose to life. Drug rituals provide meaning and purpose in life as well. But eventually, they either kill a person or create sickness or disease. That kind of threw me for a loop, thinking of the rituals that we do that in our daily habits that might be leading us down a pretty dark road. Well, I want to talk about my best friend, and I've talked about her before, and she's actually here in the area right now. She didn't come physically today, but we've been best friends since we were born. Our moms were best friends and pregnant together with us and all of that stuff. So we've been best friends for our whole of 65 years on this earth. And she smoked in her younger years, and she had this ritual. I'd watch her, and I said, when are you going to stop smoking? I didn't nag her too much, you know. I mean, it wasn't mine to do. But she's my best friend. I can say anything, right? So I'm like, really? Take the hint. So, well, what it took was her kindergartner coming home. They had this little talk in kindergarten about how smoking kills you. I mean, they said that to kindergartners. So little Matthew comes home, Mommy, are you gonna die because you smoke? And he said, oh my gosh. So she went to the school, of course, and talked to the people about how they're doing that. What they're saying to these impressionable little ones. But when he looked up at her with those big blue innocent eyes and said, Mommy, why do you smoke? That was it. I could have been talked for years and she'd have not listened to me. But she said, why do I smoke? In that moment, with that sweet, innocent child question, she made her decision. So she began replacing cigarettes with sticks of chewing gum. That's a pretty common thing to do. And after the initial withdrawal from the nicotine, she quickly came to realize that she really didn't like smoking, because she'd say, oh, I love the smoke. It relaxes me. I love it. I don't think I need to quit, you know, blah, 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 she said to me, because she really did enjoy it. But what she enjoyed was opening that pack of cigarettes, smelling them. She liked the sound, the click of her favorite lighter, and to watch that catch fire and burn, and start to burn in that first hit of the cigarette. It was a little ritual that signaled a moment for her to relax, a time just for her. Well, when she replaced it with a pack of gum, which was her first step, she got through it because of wanting to do that to keep her children safe from secondhand smoke, right? So with a pack of gum, she'd pull it out of the package, 2 of them, always 2. She'd open the paper wrapping and fold it. She'd open the silver, foil around it and fold it. And she'd fold the gum, not the paper, and put it in her mouth. She replaced the smoking ritual with her gum. And then as she got more into understanding, wow, it wasn't the cigarettes, it was the ritual. It was the time I took to do something that was just for me to relax for a minute. And then the gum was replaced by other habits like taking a walk or, those kinds of things. So we have many healthy ritualistic things in our lives, patterns that got us where we are today. And so I love this, that it gives us another opening to say, what is it in me that doesn't want to let go of this unhealthy ritual, this unhealthy ceremony? How can I replace this? And then stay open and allow Spirit to guide, because it always does. It's the listening part. It's the allowing the guiding and stubborn me, I'll be like, no, I don't want to do that part. And then I go, okay, show me, gently, show me, gently. So now she doesn't even chew gum these days. And I had her permission to share that story. Everything around us is in nature, in the animal kingdom and beyond, point to our innate wisdom, our creativity, our healing power. It's our journey. We get to unlock the symbols and the meaning within ourselves. And if we want, we can regale them in a ceremony. From the shifting of our conscious awareness, we are healed. We are guided. We live fulfilling lives, and we feel connected in a dynamic way to others around us. Carl Jung, the great Swiss psychologist, said that our souls need nourishing daily. Our inner worlds need our acknowledgement regularly. And we've heard that from the great master teachers from the beginning of time. And our beloved Jesus, that's what he taught. And it's not out there, it's within you. God is within you. So if we need to take time to stop our outer activity. And it can be as simple or as complex as you like it. Light a candle, say a prayer. Affirmative prayer. I am. We grow in confidence and self-awareness and expansion. These rituals probably change as we change and grow in spiritual understanding and empowerment. It's also important to remember that we can be spiritual and heartbroken. We can be spiritual and depressed. We can be spiritual and angry. Spirituality helps us face the human experience, not suppress it. We cannot not be spiritual. We were born into it and live in it all the time. Rituals and ceremonies can help us express our inward journey. It's not to skip our grief or our joy, but sometimes it's maybe just some relief that we need. Like Kathy got from her cigarettes and her gum in a busy, hectic life of a mom and a busy career. I'm grateful that she changed that. But it can be a space to collect our spiritual wisdom and grow in our human understanding of our own spiritual nature. A perfect human holds both truth and myth all at once, calling us perfect human. We are pure perfection in our connection with the divine, within God itself. This is encoded in our soul, and we are pure potential as humans, designed to practice, to grow, not to reach society's standards of perfection. Society's superficial standards where the myths and lies begin. So let's, together today, release some of those myths, some of those lies that society have told us, and we believed them and acted on them. We're going to have a burning bowl ceremony. And we're going to begin that now by allowing, now if you haven't, and none of us have been in an actual burning bowl for a while because we did it at home in January or December, as you remember. So this is our first one in the building for a while. And so I'll remind you of kind of the sequence. You see up here the burning bowl. I mean, the bowl, it's not burning, with a candle that will light. And the ushers are now going to pass out paper and the little slips of paper. And they're going to come around and give you, you'll have a little slip of paper, you'll have an envelope and a large piece of paper. Okay, because not only do we burn what you want to release, we affirm on the big piece of paper what you want to create. Now they're passing out books too, so that you can write on them. Some children's books from our children's library that you can read too if you want. But so on the small piece of paper, you're going to take a few moments. So I'll lead you in the meditation first. And write, don't belabor it. Things will pop up in your heart and your mind. I want to let this go right here and right now. I release this. And it may be one big thing, it may be 2 or 3. It's a small piece of paper that keeps you focused. There's all kinds of stuff within us throughout our lives, but we're talking about right here and right now. What's the first thing that comes up? You write that on your paper and then just relax. And I will start everyone coming up in just a moment. When you're complete with that, you can start writing your letter to God, to Spirit, whatever your name is, however you want to address your divinity. You write and co-create, replace, because when we let go of one thing, like you clean your closet out and it creates a vacuum. Nature abhors a vacuum. And so you fill it up. I had all these empty hangers after I cleaned my closet about a month ago. I have no empty hangers now. Thank you, Amazon. So, all right. So just set it. Does everybody have paper, pencil, or pen, a book? So look at your little small piece, and we're going to start a little bit of music, and we'll just take us in all this energy, all these thoughts, and we're going to settle in with them. And if something's come up already, go ahead and write it down. Allow yourself a nice deep breath. Feel the seat beneath you. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. We talked a lot about rituals. What are some that you want to release or one? Some thought, some feeling that creates something out in your life that you don't need anymore. As you feel a word or a phrase come up, acknowledge it. Thank you. Just sit with it. Release the myths, the stories that you've told yourself and believed, that other people have told you about you and you believe. Release and let go of rituals that you may have created as a symbol of your sorrow, of your shame, of your pain, your grief. Put that down on that little piece of paper and prepare your heart to release it, to let it go. First in your mind, and then drop down to your heart space. As you breathe in the sky, the expansiveness of the sky. And breathe out the stars, filtering it all through your heart space, that pure potentiality, love itself. Keep in mind, we're only burning the little strip, not the big piece. That one you're going to fold and put in an envelope, write your name and address on the front and leave it here, and we'll mail it back to you in December. That's what the letter is. It's a love letter from you to you, from God to you, through you and as you. And our dear ones on Zoom, I pray that you are doing this exercise at home. If you have a candle nearby, if you're safe, you can burn it or you can put it in water and dissolve it. I'm going to turn the screen around. Now, as you are ready, bring your small piece of paper. It burns not in a flash, it burns a little slower. But when you hit it, you can drop it right there in the center. As you feel led to do so. I wouldn't recommend folding it. Maybe unfold it. This is for nobody else's eyes, so don't worry. And let go.
Whoa. Sure.
Release. And let go.
Oh, why?
We're going to take some time to write some letters if you haven't already. Feel that sense of relief, release, and ask, affirm, and claim your highest good in that letter. The power to release is within you. And this outer ritual gives us that outlet to express that letting go. I'll read those leaves. We have one more larger piece of paper to burn.
ceremony.
Just don't burn down our building we just paid for. As we release and we let go, we are debt free. We are free in spirit and free. A little ash, but it's okay. It's not hot. Like I said, we just paid for it. That would be called irony, I think, or tragedy. Oh, do you need a little more time to write your letters? Do you feel complete enough with those to put them in the envelope, put your name and address on the front, and you can just leave them on that back table. Do we have a basket here? Or the ushers could collect them. If you're complete, and if